Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One, and we just here to pass some minerals so we can share. You can hear some stuff that you already have going through your veins right now. The stuff you hearing now is no different from the stuff that you heard in the past. We're both just putting some context on it so we can see a little bit clearer. I have the link to the chat in the talk box up there. So listen, if you have something that we should know or something you can share to make us all grow, cough it up, share. You know, let's change this thing. So you still African. So you still African. You still calling yourself black. You still calling yourselves all of these things that other people named you. You didn't call yourselves that. And when I say that you didn't, I'm talking about indigenous people of America, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, all those corporations, all the people of those corporations. This is for you. If you're not, it's not for you, as far as you can find. Because I'm sure here everybody has done their genealogy. Simple, connects you right to the land. You have to know that. If you don't know that, you don't know nothing. No matter how big you bark, how much you yap, you're confusing the people. What's the brother name? I mean, he was shamming people for years. Imagine the energy wasted on that stupid shit. And you can't be mad at him because many people supported him. Why? Because they don't know how to pick out what bullshit is. And you can hear it first 3 or 4 words. How come we always confuse? I didn't know. Jokes always done. Why? Why? And so those are the questions you're going to have to answer to see this clearly. Stop looking at yourself in a state, in a county. That compresses your ideas, your thoughts. If you just stayed in one room in your house all the day and you didn't go to the other bathroom, the kitchen, you wouldn't know what's going on. So these people came over here seeing that you was living all kind of land, or the land can see. It was for everybody. Everybody shared it. Everybody, what they may have grown tomatoes over there. May have had deer running wild over there. This band of people may have grew corn. I don't know. But you can tell by the landmass, that's how the people connected with each other. What I don't have, I can share what I do have, give you some of what you don't have. It's simple. That was severed when the Negroes started warring with each other. Warring with each other. And this is crucial. So remember, when they had all these wars, American wars, and all these wars that you heard in the 13 colonies, when those wars were with you. Those wars were with your parents. They weren't here like that. Who were they warring against? They was warring against the people who was trying to come take their shit. You. And see, this is what I'm saying. Stop saying we. Stop saying we. Because we did a whole lot of shit that we have to pay for. And maybe that's what we're paying for now. When you fight against each other in another man's army on your land, what kind of hoe are you? And all these cats you hear running their yap, that's them. All those men that have other men's symbol tattooed, really? Really? And arrogant. Arrogant. You fight against your brother, they give you guns so you can go on continuing to kill each other and dog each other out and wouldn't dare turn it on nobody else. You would turn it on yourself first. That's what I mean. That's what black people do. Stop pretending, we ain't gonna. You do it. The people who refer to themselves as such will do anything they're told. Black magic. Word spells. Guess who know nothing about it? Guess who know nothing about it? But keep running their yap. What that does is confuses the masses. I would like that to stop. Because once you can see what's right in front of you, you don't even have to think, you'll know. So this is what I'm saying. This is for the indigenous people of America. This is not for no Africans, Hebrew Israelites, Hoteps, and no. Because they're coming from a different paradigm than the way we're seeing it. They're seeing it the way somebody told them. If I'm lying, please come and explain why I'm lying, and don't take long. You can know just about anything that went on here if you just did the genealogy and was checking out what your people was doing back then when they were living in all these places: South Carolina, Virginia, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. What was they doing before they all abandoned ship and went to live in these big cities? Went to live in New York, went to live in Chicago, went to live in LA, try to be an actor, try to be a comedian. What happened to the places that they left? And, I have this image up here, simple image. You can tell they were written by Romans, Italian people, whoever, Portuguese, who all these people came over. You can tell by the writing it's the same people. Do those people look the same? The one called America and the one called Africa? Do those people look anything alike? Do they? See, the cold part is a lot of parents people have children, grandchildren, they'll never know this. They'll never know it. You only notice that dumb shit is shared. Because anything serious, anything that's going to take us to the next level, anything that is going to require you to think, we throw that away. Now, that's what we do. And we is the majority, 90% at least. At least. So you are not these people that they claim you are. You are the people, you are the people on the top from the land of America. I know it says America. That's when people come over. So you notice how British people talk? If you ever get a chance, because people be like, well, what was our language? Your language is what you're speaking now. We speak English. You're not speaking it. You're speaking American English. Remember when the English came over here, they tried to take your tongue from you. They don't talk like you do. Check out how they wrote, the way they spelled, the way they spoke. You was correcting them all through that period, changing letters. Eh, You got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different countries over here coming over here to raid you of your shit. You don't get it? What you call African American, what you call black, they don't get anything. They do what they're told and shut up. If I'm lying, please explain to me why I am. Be honest. Let these kids know because they'll figure it out. They'll come up with a way, like you're seeing some of them come up with a way now. This isn't new stuff. The problem we're having, the people who get the new stuff, they don't go learn. They just hear it and then they try to mix what they know in it. Don't work like that. It don't work like that. And will confuse everybody that's up there. So when I ask them, what's a black Indian? A black Indian is someone you're cursing, someone you put a spell on. Because just by the simple fact that you are not black, I put $1,000 bet. Anybody can show me a black person, black people, give you $1,000. One young lady tried and did the jigabowing. I wouldn't even I didn't know you were talking about like don't confused. And the longer you want to stay there, that'll become a part of you. That'll become you. So hopefully tonight we're gonna have Lisa Cypress calling. And so this is what I'm saying. All these courts, all this stuff is a fraud. It's a fraud. You know what to make the world a better place? If everybody went back to their home of origin. Wouldn't that be cool? So I want to share a story with you guys today. This sister went over to Africa because she was one of those chicks who I'm going to the motherland. La, la. So she went over there, tried to be, big baller, and ran into a wall. I want you to hear what she said, what her experience was over there. Because this is what I'm saying. We like to play, lie, all that bullshit, but it comes back around to bite us in the ass. Check out what this sister says.
Said, guys, don't. It's not where it's at. Africa
Let
is
me
not where it's at,
set it up
guys.
for you. Let me get the sound right. Check out what this sister say. And this one, I like these type sisters because, you know, when you wrong, just say you wrong. Go another way. We be wrong, dumb as hell, and not trying to correct ourselves. That's the sin right there. And then you go out talking, confusing everybody. That's a sin. You can't be feeding these babies all this bullshit and expect them to be right. Here's an example. I was talking to a young lady, and she said, you know, well, what is it? I'm like, you got to remember, these kids' parents, they were probably hooked on some kind of drug. She was like, you mean like crack or something? I'm like, yeah. She said, well, doctors have determined that kids born on crack are no different than kids born normal. I just looked at her. I'm like, what are you talking about? So this is where I'm saying, this is where we're at. Check out what this sister says about Africa.
It's not where it's at. Any Black American that wants to leave the United States, don't look to Africa. And I am over here in Africa. Ooh. I'm in Ghana right now. To touch on what the gentleman said about us coming together and uniting and doing business with people over here on the continent, that would not be a good idea at all. Ooh. One thing about Africa, and it's basically all of Africa, you'll never own the land. It's just a lease. Right. So if you want to come and start a business, an African has to own 51% of it. So basically, you're not starting a business for you and your family. You're starting a business for them, for their family. Governments over here hiring Americans to come over to get us to build these lands, to get us to spend money, to get us to educate these people because they know we're more educated than the normal people here. Yeah. Because it's not where it's at all. You're going to be living in poverty. You're going to pay a lot of money to live in poverty. Yeah. So I came and I saw. And when I got here, I immediately knew, no, these are not our people. They cannot say that we are descendants from Africa. They're nothing like us. They don't even like their own people. It's too tribal. It's too tribal here. They see us as a lick, as a come up. No Black American is safe in Africa. The roads are raggedy, like there's potholes everywhere. A nice part of Ghana. I would say maybe inside of Airport Hills, like they have what they call these estates here, these gated estates. So if you get inside of an estate, inside the estate is okay. But once you come out of those gates, that's chaos, that's poverty. Damn. Infrastructure is like non-existent. They can't even keep the water on over here. We're in an apartment. We moved into the apartment in September of last year, right? They turned the water on in October for a few minutes. The water hadn't been turned on since then. It's been over a year. Damn. Husband and son has been having to pay these guys, what we call water truck guys, to go and get water and bring water and put in our poly tank. And see, that's the type of stuff they do. The water isn't turned on, but yet Ghana Water Limited is sending you a water bill. Where does water bill come from, sir? We haven't had water. What you doing? Wow. But that's what they do. And the same thing with the electricity. You know, the electricity is hit or miss. When you come, if you don't come with a generator and things that can be solar powered and stuff like that, you're messed up. Coming to Africa, you're going to spend a whole lot of money just to still live in poverty. Because if the infrastructure isn't there, that's poverty. These people are running around here urinating and defecating in the street. They don't care. They throw trash everywhere. They don't care. That's why when rainy season come in, these areas flood because these crazy people don't put trash in the canals and stuff that's supposed to channel the water away. I don't know what's wrong with them. And another thing, they cook with aluminum over here, and I think that's affecting their brains. It's like they can't critically think. All they know how to do is beg, set up scams and frauds. The children are not even in school here. And this isn't just Ghana. These are every country I have gone to. These children are not in school. These children are on the streets begging for money. So how can an African leave Africa and come to the U.S. and try to holler they're more educated than us? How, sir? How? I've visited a lot. And like I said, Africa is all the same. The only difference is the languages. That's it. In these African countries, like, you know, when let's say these touring companies that's here, when they show things, what they do is like the Capitol, they'll have it fixed up nice, and you know, the main road to be fixed up okay, and you see these nice what they call mansions and big houses, but behind those houses is the slums.
Talk to him. Have you been to Elmina Castle? Have you visited that?
I'm not going to go. I don't need to go there.
Okay, hey, there you go.
I don't need to go there. I don't need to see any of that. I really don't. And my thing is this, you know, for a long time, these people didn't even want to be associated with us. But now all of a sudden, they want to claim black.
Yeah.
They want to claim black. And I feel like you said, it's too attached to us. But if they want us to say that we're African and we're from Africa and all of that, then that means you all sold us. So not only should we be getting reparations from the United States, we need to be getting reparations from these countries too.
Oh.
Since they want us to claim that we're African now. Run us our money. Run that check. Y'all got these gold, y'all got diamonds, y'all got rubies, y'all got cobalt, y'all got everything in this soil. Run us our money and our land.
Yes, indeed.
Now, if we start asking for that, I'm sure they'll go back and say, oh, no, those people over there aren't African. No, they was already in the U.S.
You know?
Well, the invitation, especially with the year of return that popped off in 2019, that was a money grab. Because I was on the plane, and there was a whole group of people, and black people, and I asked them, I said, hey, where you all headed to? Oh, we're going to Ghana. I said, for what? Oh, we're going to buy land. I said, why? Oh, because such and such. I said, do you know you can't own the land? I said, it's just the lease. I said, you're a foreigner. You're only going to get a 50-year lease. Their eyes got big. They didn't know that. Yeah. I said, within 50 years, I said, they're pulling that land back from me. Whatever you've done on it, it becomes theirs. I said, now, if you truly want to buy land, and if you want to be in Ghana, what you need to do is you need to get your citizenship. I said, get your citizenship. I said, then you can at least get a 99-year lease with a guaranteed renewal. So they don't even tell the people the truth. They tell people bits and pieces.
Right.
Also, they're saying, oh, you come to Ghana, you can get citizenship. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like Dr. Umar, he came over here and paid for his citizenship. He paid for it.
Wow.
Him and his whole entourage. He got his citizenship in January of this year. My sister was there at the ceremony, and she sent me back video footage. She was like, girl, look at who up in here.
How much are they charging for the citizenship?
Well, some people that I talked to, they paid $5,000. Some people even paid up to $20,000. You didn't pay that kind of money to be over here in a fourth world country.
Damn. Wow. That's crazy.
But yeah, they paid for it. They paid for it. And that's why it's a lot of uproar now about the number of people that did receive their citizenship because they didn't do it the right way.
Hi, good morning. This is Joshua. I wanted to step in and say something. I'm in the DRC right now, and I've heard our sister bashing Africa literally, and that's disgusting. I'm really shocked that she's misrepresenting facts about the continent of Africa. Africa is...
You're disgusted by me telling the truth about the countries? How's that disgusting?
That's not the truth.
If not lying.
Africa. Hold on, sister.
You have a problem with me telling the truth.
Hold on. Stop. Because I've been to South Africa. It's very developed, and I've seen people shit on the streets there with my own eyes. Okay, so let's stop that. People do be shitting on the streets in Africa. All right, and it's very casual. In Nigeria, it's so bad they have to give people fines for shitting in the streets. So that's a reality. Let's not do that, sir.
So you can't tell me what I don't see. You can't tell me what don't go on here. You can't tell me none of that. You over there in the DRC, y'all trying to run too. Don't y'all have a genocide going on?
Damn.
Woo. That's what you need to be worried about. Don't worry about what I'm saying about Ghana. Now, when I get on Congo, then you talk. But up until then, keep it quiet.
Josh, unmute your microphone, sir. Josh. Josh, unmute. All right. He'll be on in a second. But yeah, Josh, don't get mad because she's telling the truth.
Our women have got to stop coming to Africa. And they definitely have to stop coming to Africa single, because these men are taking advantage of these women over here. They playing on their heartstrings. They're getting their money. A lot of Black American women has gotten unalive in Ghana alone, and they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that, and it needs to be talked about. These people over here would be married. The women are in on it too, to set these women up, to get these women's money, and then when the money stops, their life stops.
Damn.
Preach, girl.
And that is the truth. These countries, these people over here, they hide a lot of stuff that goes on because they don't want things getting out about how they truly are. They do prostitution. They do human trafficking. They sell their children. They over here dealing drugs. And it's a lot of baby mamas over here too.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I agree with what Afia said.
Because it's one thing about it. We not like them. I don't play with these people. Do you know that modern day slavery is still going on here, right here in Ghana? And what it is, there's these Indian companies over here that owns these grocery stores, the Lebanese, the Turkish people. All these other foreigners are over here owning businesses. Like, what does the Ghanaians really own? They don't own anything. But yet they're employing the Ghanaians and they're not paying the Ghanaians. Also, another problem is we have Chinese pastors per se. We have the YT pastors per se. The people up in politics, they riding nice. They living nice. They eating nice. They not struggling. But these people, it's over 50 million people over here in Ghana. But these people are just letting these people do these things to them, and they take it laying down. They don't even try to fight. They don't even try to better their lives. And that's why they want to leave Africa.
They got all
That's
the
why they
smoke
coming to the
for us,
West.
though. They got all the smoke for
don't let
us.
no African come to the United States and try to downplay us.
Wow.
They can't downplay us. They can never be us. They want to be us. They on the outside looking in, and they seeing how we living. They want to say stuff to us to try to make us feel bad about ourselves. We are on top, and we will always be on top. It don't matter what went on with us over there in the United States. It's still better than here. Don't let these people get in your head making you think that you African and you African descent and come home to the motherland. This is not the motherland. Trust and believe.
Yeah.
This is not the motherland over here. People even think that all the food in Africa is organic. No, it's not. It's imported. And the things that are grown here, you better be careful about eating them because they irrigate them with sewage water.
Oh,
Okay?
boy.
They use pesticides and herbicides here. They vaccinate their animals too. So do not believe all that wahala. Africa is not where it's at, guys. Don't.
What's up? What's happening? I mean, I know you a lot of Africans, y'all came over here on the ship. Asked the brother, he said, yeah, man, we came over here, they chained us. I'm like, so let me get this. You just had a hurricane hit Jamaica. So were those slave ships coming through those hurricanes? Were they rocking with those hurricanes? You should have seen the look on his face. You should have seen the look on his face. What she said is going on in Africa is going on here. You're from a place that probably has the best fish, grew the best whatever, had the best resources. Not all of you, I'm talking about the indigenous people. Because some of people, they're African. Let them be. Let them be what they say they are. But the young lady just told you, and you knew she wasn't lying. You could tell by the way she was talking. Notice that when you're talking to people, you can notice who's lying by what they're saying. Remember that. Because what you're getting now is a whole bunch of nonsense. So you won't look deeper into yourself. Think of it like this. When your grandmother was pregnant with your mother, you was there. You may have not been there as Lisa or Sonia or whatever your name is, but you were there. You was there. When your mama came out, you were there. Of course, your father had to ignite the flame, but you were there waiting to be ignited. And now that you ignited, now what? You African? Anybody can come tell you who you are, and you'll believe it. Defend for it. You will do anything because somebody told you to do it. You don't get no direction from your ancestors. Your ancestors would be, the ancestors are here now. Don't you have ancestors that did something cool? Those are the characters in the Bible. Not the Bible. Not the Bible. You have characters like that in your family to uplift and inspire. You're one, probably. We don't, so Black people, African American people don't look at themselves like that. They look at themselves in the way somebody told them to look at themselves. If that's not how it works, please come and explain how does it work. When somebody tells you who you are and you call yourself what they told you to call them, you're going to be they bitch forever. Right or wrong. See, that's the problem we have with, we just want to pretend like it's not happening. Oh, it's happening. Remember, none of us are here forever. Not saying we won't be back here, but we'll evolve to something else. Don't leave these children in the state that you are left in. Make sense when you talk. Be able to answer questions. Because we're all not on the same page. Remember, GPA, grade point average. You know what that means? You're on the fourth grade. You're on the fourth grade level. I don't care how many colleges you go to. All the money that's been put in medicine, how they've been dogging the people in medicine, and really, and support it. Support it. What do you think happens to those people? So, my suggestion, do some genealogy on yourself. Do your mamas. Just find out where she lived. What was there? What made them move away? Where's your dad? Where's his mom from? Where's his great grandmama from? Great grandfather? Where are they from? Remember that song by Earth, Wind, and Fire, In the Stone? It's written in the stone. You know, y'all, you got to do is go look. People want to go all the way to Africa. For real? Remember that time when those people from that Jim Jones church went to South America? And they were people who were indigenous to here. So don't say these minds can't be taken, because they always are. You're gonna see you just came down a pipeline, and it revolves by generations. That's why some of your people look just like them. You've heard people say, "Girl, that dude looked just like Willie. That baby looked just like Willie." You've seen it. Connect yourselves back to the land. It's not hard. Connect yourself back to the land. You wouldn't need food stamps. You connect yourself back to the land. You wouldn't need food stamps. So you're not black. You're not a Moor. You're not a Hotep. These are characters. So like when you ask the Christians, if any of you ever been to Israel, and and you're going, through all that money making stuff, you ask them, where are the people in the Bible buried? And that's why I like people who work in places like that. People who work in Disneyland, people who work wherever, they're going to tell you the truth about what's going on, because they see it every day. So when you go to Israel and you ask where all these people in the Bible are buried, the look they gave you is hilarious. Because they're like, you can't figure out it's a story. I won't say the average no more. 50% teetering below 49. I'll say that. People getting up out of that church, they seeing it. They seeing it. I got a friend in LA, one of those big Christians. So when I talk to her, I notice she's not going to church on Sunday. I'm like, what's up? They only have church one Sunday a month. They rent out their church to other churches. This is in Los Angeles, so they'll rent it out to a Mexican church so they can have their service in there. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It's all over. So, they have some of these primitive Baptist churches. When you go down south, they're called primitive Baptist churches. Primitive is put in the front, so you won't go check that out. I would check it out if I were you. They're all over the South. You can find them there in the South. They're called primitive Baptist churches. They have some of your spiritual teachings in there. Go check it out. This is what I'm saying. Ain't nothing more important than you. You should know that. Go find out what you made out of. Go find out what runs through your veins. Go find out what minerals you have in your body. Wouldn't that be a good thing to know? Wouldn't that be an important thing to know? So here's the plan for Thanksgiving. Don't eat nothing. Don't eat nothing. Fast to show honor to the pipeline you came down. What I mean by pipeline is this: you have a mama and a daddy. That's your pipeline. Not just them, but the pipeline they came down. Because you coming down that same pipeline. Matter of fact, you are your mother's and daddy's replacement. If somebody want to come and call that a lie, please explain it eloquently. We'll give you time. Don't run out. Don't go 15 minutes repeating yourself. Explain it. You can do that here, because we can't have confusion no more. It's not good. It's not good for us. So we're not so assholish, or we don't let people speak. No, I mean, dang. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has something going on that, we can get with. You ever see ants? They touch their antennas. Why? So I can get information from you. You can get all the information that you picked up today from me, and vice versa. You ever see a dead bee be reanimated by a bunch of bees? That goes on in the insect kingdom. How come we don't know that? How come we don't apply these things to ourselves? How come we don't apply things that our foreparents did? And we don't even think of them. We do what other people tell us to do. And try to talk and act like you don't. So that's what I'm saying on that we stuff, and I'm going to get out of here. On that we stuff, stop saying that. Because we fought against we, trying to fight for the British, trying to fight for the French, didn't we? So make sure you put that in. Make sure you add that, so there won't be no confusion later. Because one of the things we like to do is lie, explain. So I asked the lady today, I'm like, so how did you have Buffalo Soldiers and slavery going on at the same time? Explain that. Now this was a lady. She's in the military. I mean, she's retired, but she works for one of the outlets, USO, one of the military things. She couldn't answer. You have people in slavery, and you have Buffalo Soldiers. Explain. Anybody. Explain. And so these are the stories that are told to you to keep you low. Well, you don't even think. Not you, of course, but you know what I mean. No thinking. You just hear something and run off at the mouth. That's the way the information is being disseminated. It was supposed to be disseminated this way, but guys got the information and just started adding all kind of, So we're not really trying to learn. We're just trying to be smart to show that we're smart. And that's the truth, Rue. Well, anyway, we're going to leave you guys tonight. You guys have a good Friday. Check this out. Met a brother from Canada. He going to come on in a couple of weeks and share some stuff with y'all. Y'all going to go, damn. Because remember, America, you want to get a picture of America? Take down all the borders. You want a picture of America? Take down all the borders. And all those people on that landmass, Americans, those people, They were all connected. They were all connected. The counties and the states came way much later. Keep that in mind when you're doing your genealogy. You guys have a good night. Peace.